Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you Game 3 in a best of 3 matchup between Jinro and LiquidNazgul. LiquidNazgul saying, I will hate myself forever if I lose a series. Haha, for not wondering where the CC went. What? Not, or where the command center went. So yeah, just a little bit of playing. Anyways, Jinro still playing out, trying to get some minerals, trying to get things set up. And what the heck are they talking about? I'll ignore what they're saying. So Jinro spawning as the pink Terran player over here on the bottom side of Desert Oasis. Meanwhile, we have LiquidNazgul spawning on the north side of Desert Oasis as the blue Protoss. So another Protoss versus Terran matchup. Now, let's see if Jinro is so bad manner expand gold every game. Whatever. It is not bad manner for trying to get money. Anyways, Jinro is pretty much setting up over here on the south side of Desert Oasis, not building that supply depot earlier or by this front door, so perhaps trying to do a little bit of a more harassment strategy. Generally, Terran players really like to use Reapers on this map just because the minerals are just so exposed on this backside. However, Jinro may know that, or LiquidNazgul may just try to put up a Stalker in this back position in order to try to push back any Reaper harassment, and then a single Stalker would pretty much nullify any advantage that Reaper would normally have. But then, on the counter of that, Jinro could then just try to mass Marauders expecting the Stalkers to be built, and then I can just keep on talking, trying to play rock, paper, scissors in my head. So Jinro getting this command center, getting the refinery up, and now gonna go ahead and scout out with this single SCV. Now, a couple of you guys have been wondering why I don't just fast forward to the 2-minute mark of my games. It's actually so that I can build up excitement and build up, it's almost like building up your macro and building up your APMs in the game. There's a natural progression in a game in terms of slow parts versus fast parts. And as I try to talk, as I try to get things to come out more eloquently, and I try to calm down a little bit, starting the game right at the 2-minute mark, although the game might be more exciting for you guys, I'll probably end up stuttering more and trying to figure out how to describe certain situations. Jinro now coming in with this SCV, so SCV gonna come in, gonna see that there is in fact a cybernetics core in position as well as a gateway. No zealots being produced yet. That fusion cutter trying to rip through those Protoss shields, not gonna be very successful, as he's got about 160 shields to go. Another pylon now being placed down, expecting warp gate research to be started, and now getting that chrono boost to get that first Stalker out and running. So Stalker first, taking a look, we do in fact have a Reaper coming in from Jinro. So Jinro, looking like he heard me talk, gonna go for that Reaper, and LiquidNazgul gonna go ahead and get that Stalker in position. So that Stalker is gonna start shooting down that SCV. Stalker only taking 32 units of time to build, and LiquidNazgul doing a very nice hit and move and attack, but countering by Jinro. Jinro going for a very, very aggressive, fast expansion. So a 21 command center in order to try to get some additional advantages. Now taking a look at that Reaper, the Reaper got one kill off, but then the Stalker from LiquidNazgul able to just really shoo it away. Taking a look, the Reaper, how did it take? Oh, it must have taken one shot from the Stalker and then a little bit of damage from a single probe as well. Taking a look, the Reaper still flying around, trying to see if there is in fact perhaps some sort of fast expansion attempt. No fast expansion attempt by LiquidNazgul. LiquidNazgul, however, going for a robotics facility and now getting that observer. That observer costing 50 and 100. So still very, very expensive, and also getting a forge up. That forge getting that weapons upgrade. That is a little bit surprising, as LiquidNazgul's army is very small right now. So both players opting to play a rather late game strategy. Reaper standing by the Xel'Naga Watchtower, finally activating it, so getting both of these Xel'Naga Watchtowers out, and now an SCV gonna go ahead and once again go on the move. A single Stalker now moving out as well, and Jinro, being the typical Terran player he is, going for mass Marauders. So I'm hoping that LiquidNazgul will be able to come back and figure out a good counter to mass Marauders, as I just naturally think that mass Marauders is, as effective as it is rather boring. Coming back over here, we now have an additional Immortal being produced, so 2 Immortals being produced right there. A robotics facility with that Chrono Boost going to be able to produce that Immortal in 30 units of time as opposed to 40. Coming back over here, we do in fact have an Observer from LiquidNazgul spotting the early command center, so Jinro sitting on a 900 mineral army versus LiquidNazgul 675 now, as more Marauders are getting massed up, and also a Ghost. If you did not know, the Ghost's EMP range has, or sorry, the radius has been significantly reduced, so it is much easier to miss with an EMP shockwave now. LiquidNazgul with that single observer up in the air, and now we have an SCV just coming back around. Not sure why it's hiding over here. There's no real room for a proxy over there. Reaper getting on a secondary kill on a probe, as a probe tried to gather one of those high-yield mineral locations. 3 Immortals with a single Zealot now moving out, taking a look, only running off of one single gateway as more Immortals being produced, and now nearing completion on that level 1's weapons upgrade. So those Immortals will in fact be able to deal a fair amount of damage, as they're going to be dealing 55 damage a shot against those Marauders. That poor Reaper is never going to see what's even. Yeah, there it goes. Quickly getting taken down as 3 Immortals and 1 Zealot come in. A single probe now coming out as well. So more Zealots and more Immortals coming back out. Taking a look, I do not see. Oh, finally seeing a factory. So Jinro now getting a factory down. We'll see if he tries to go for Banshees, as Banshees are the natural counter to Immortals, as they have that double attack. That deals 20 damage through the shields, as long as there is not any sentry with that guardian shield. Phase Prism also in play as well, so that Phase Prism may be trying to do some sort of elevator drop, and yeah, may try to drop into the base here. Marauders quickly countering, however. So taking a look at this, gonna go ahead and do the warp in mode in order to perhaps warp in some additional Zealots, and as soon as it warps in some additional Zealots, or perhaps even Stalkers, we'll see how this is really gonna work. No, warping in or picking up 2 Immortals. And now this is going to be very, very bad, as those Marauders. No, Marauders now leaving away, now coming back in. Going to go ahead and start getting dropped, and 2 Immortals trying to drop, trying to take down more of these units. Going to be a little bit of a fight. EMP Shockwave hitting those units and quickly getting picked up. So nice EMP Shockwave to reduce all the shields from those 2 Immortals. But the energy on those Ghosts is going to be very, very precious. Only 1 EMP round left for that single Ghost. 2 bunkers in position as well. We'll see how this is all going to work out, as now we finally are getting some Stalkers as well. Single Immortal coming in again, trying to take down some of these buildings. That Immortal dealing 55 damage a shot against those armored units. Immortal sitting with 6 kills, probably going to get picked up right now. No, not finally getting picked up, and now still more units seen over here, as there is a single observer overhead, perhaps waiting to see if Jinro is going to move this army up to that high ground, trying to bait him to that high ground. Once again, dropping an additional Immortal, trying to take down this refinery quickly getting taken down. Gonna perhaps go after some of these SCVs again. SCV getting taken down by 3 quick hits, and now going after that orbital command center. That orbital command still sitting at, no, going after those supply depots. So down goes a single supply depot. Now gonna take out some Marines as well as Marauders, and now a Viking coming in. Viking gonna be there to try to counteract that Warp Prism. Warp Prism trying to fly away, gonna head back to that south side. And now Viking now trying to come in, may drop that, losing that, and now in comes this nice fight over here. 2 Immortals losing all of their shields based upon an EMP round, but more Immortals now coming in. SCV is going to try to come in and join in on this fight. Stalkers are going to be focusing down some of these units. Down goes that Ghost, so Ghost has been taken down, but still both sides of these armies taking a fair amount of losses, as more Marauders once again coming back in. Stalkers and Immortals trying to focus down those 2 Marauders that are trying to come back in, and now those Stalkers are going to be able to freely walk in and perhaps do it a little bit of a hit and run on some of those SCVs. SCVs then trying to remove the shields on that Immortal. Immortal going to get taken down to 14 hit points. Down it goes, but now going after some of those Marauders. Stalker is going to be forced to try to do a little bit of a hit and run. Not going to really work with those concussive shells on those Marauders, and those Marauders able to push back that very, very strong attack. But here, more reinforcements coming. Zealots and Immortals with the Stalker. Also, is there a Phase Prism? No, there's just a pylon sitting over here by LiquidNazgul in order to warp in additional units. Single observer up in the air, still gathering the site, and now we have a starport and a factory. That factory just there for that starport, perhaps to get that single Viking. Now in come these units. Marauders trying to come in and perhaps trying to deal more damage. SCVs trying to come in, going to be able to cut through the shields on that Immortal, and down, waiting for that Immortal to get taken down. Down it goes, as wow, the rest of those units are just getting taken down. The Zealots now finishing off the rest of those Marines, as those Marauders are going to come in. Down goes another Marauder, and now those Marauders heading into that single bunker. So those 2 Zealots trying to run back away, trying to take down some of these SCVs, but those Marines are going to be able to finish it off. So very, very nice fight. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between Jinro and LiquidNazgul here on Desert Oasis.